Hello, my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then welcome to my channel, and it is the mid-year, which is so wild to me. But it is in fact time for the mid-year book freakout tag, and then I'll read off my reading stats for the year so far at the end of the video. I'll have links to the original creators of this tag in the description of this video, and let's go ahead and get started. Starting off with my best book of 2026 so far, and I do have a really good group of 5-star reads this year, but then I also have Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki, which kind of just transcends ratings for me because it may actually be my favorite book of all time. I'm still processing that, and it's going to come up many more times in this video where you'll hear more specifics of why that is the case. But yeah, speaking of my 5-star reads, the best sequel that I've read in 2026 is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, which I don't know how much of like a sequel it is, but it is book 2 in the series. Love this, love the romance, love the characters individually, like the moments of family were really incredible, and just the relationships all around and the character growth as well. A new release that I haven't read yet, but want to. I haven't been really fully paying attention to this because I am trying my best to focus on the books that I already own, but I did see that FT Lukens has a new book out. It's called The Last Best Quest Ever, and it looks like it came out around late May. I don't own it yet, but I probably will eventually because I own like almost everything else from this author, and I love So This Is Ever After. I really liked In Deeper Waters as well. The title kind of feels reminiscent to me of So This Is Ever After in like a fantasy aesthetic type of way, so I'm excited that it exists. My most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Again, have not been fully paying attention to this, but Skip and Loafer has a new volume coming out that I've already pre-ordered. It's my favorite manga series, so that is going to be a very big and important day for me, especially after where they left off in volume 11. The final Heartstopper volume was also coming out in July. The Lycoris Recoil manga has a new volume coming out too. So yeah, I would say those three, but like especially Skip and Loafer. My biggest disappointment so far this year is Azula in the Spirit Temple. I feel like sometimes I struggle a little bit with this prompt, like I don't usually have an answer, but like this immediately came to mind. I read a lot of the Avatar: The Last Airbender comics this year. I was really looking forward to this one because I think Azula is super interesting, and I was excited to see her character get explored further and just kind of like a deep dive into her, maybe some growth in some way. But this just felt like they had no idea what they wanted to do with her. It felt way too short, it felt way too fast-paced to me, and I did have some trouble just like finding the point of it. So even if I do think that it had some fun moments, it really could have been so much more. And on the other hand, my biggest surprise, I actually had to think about this one, so I came up with a couple. There's the Bounty Hunter and the Tea Brewer, because the duo and the focus felt a little bit random to me at first, but I ended up really liking it. It was super cozy and charming. I also ended up really liking Toph Beifong's Metal Bending Academy, which I didn't expect to like as much as I did, especially after reading The Rift and how I was feeling about Toph's character after that, but it was its own thing. It was fun, solid pacing, and a good amount of heart too. And for a new favorite author, I am definitely interested in reading more from Rika Aoki, especially because part of the reason why I love Light from Uncommon Stars so much is the writing style. It's super charming and refreshing and unique, and I felt so immersed and like at home with it right away. This Could Be Us was also my second book from Kennedy Ryan, and I really liked the first one Before I Let Go as well, so I would say that this is more of like a confirmation for me in terms of new favorite author status, but it's still nice nonetheless. Newest fictional crush, which I am going to use as an opportunity to shout out my favorite romances that I've read so far this year. And once again, we have Soledad and Judah from This Could Be Us. We also have Shizuka and Lan from Light from Uncommon Stars, Gray and Kier from The Second Death of Locke by V.L. Bovellino, and Truyan and Along from A Forgery of Fate by Elizabeth Lim. Newest favorite character, or in this case characters, Katrina and Shizuka from Light from Uncommon Stars, Soledad and Judah from This Could Be Us. I also really like Nora from All My Rage, Gray from The Second Death of Locke, and Truyan from A Forgery of Fate. A book that made me cry. Katrina's character growth and exploration in Light from Uncommon Stars was really impactful, meaningful, and at times very relatable for me. And there are really incredible violin playing scenes in here that are pages long. They really sucked me in, they fully got me. There were so many tears. I also think that I cried after finishing the book out of like gratitude or something. I don't fully remember. A book that made me happy. I smiled a lot through the first volume of Senpai Izen no Tokonoko because the characters and their happiness brings me happiness and makes me smile. And there's a character in here with just like a really vibrant, infectious, charming energy. And sticking with manga, I also had a lot of fun with the second volume of Delicious in Dungeon and also the first 2 volumes of City. Favorite book to movie adaptation? I'm gonna go with a manga to anime adaptation for this because You and I Are Polar Opposites had their first season this year. They're about to start their second season in the summer. And this is a now completed manga series that I was reading for like the entire time that it was ongoing, minus like a handful of chapters. And it's also one of my favorite manga series of all time, and I love and adore this adaptation so much. It's everything that I could have ever dreamed of for this series, and I spent a lot of time while the manga was ongoing and also right after it finished just like dreaming of this and imagining this moment. Like, it is so cute and so fun with so much heart. I love all of the relationships so much, and it feels like the team that did the adaptation like truly understands who and what this series is, and I feel very proud of them, and I'm just so happy that they're getting the love and the success that they deserve. The most beautiful book that I've bought this year, and this is kind of bizarre, but I feel like I don't have an answer for this, and it's bizarre because I feel like I always have an answer for this, and I feel like I always have multiple answers for this. So we're just gonna go with some of the covers of the audiobooks that I've really loved so far this year. So we have The Second Death of Locke, A Mouthful of Dust, and Every Spiral of Fate. I also bought The Ashes of the Academy ebook this year, and it has a really pretty art style, so we'll go with that too. What books do I need to read by the end of the year? So many. So many. So we're just gonna go with what's already on my TBR. So we have The Proposal by Sonito Reyes. I also want to read more of The Moon on a Rainy Night, Delicious in Dungeons, Senpai no Tokonoko, City, Hell's Paradise. I've also been watching Witch Hat Atelier's anime adaptation, and it's made me like really want to get back into the manga. And I also really need to catch up on the manga series that I'm usually caught up to but that I've fallen behind on this year. So Blue Box, Akane Banashi, Ichi the Witch, Ruri Dragon, and Kagurabachi are like the main ones for that right now. So yeah, a lot of manga. Like, I feel like I could stand here for a while and just like list off the manga series that I want and need to read. Like Kimi ni Todoke, Komi Can't Communicate, Jujutsu Kaisen, Spy Family. It's a lot. Okay, so that is the end of the tag. Now let's move on to my reading stats for the year so far. And all of these stats are like charts and things that you'll see on the screen are from Storygraph. I've read 37 books so far this year. The goal is 125, which means I need 20 until I'm back on track. I have not read as much manga as I thought that I would this year, but I will do that, and then that 20 will no longer exist. And this situation will no longer be as dire as it seems right now. I currently also have a 79-day reading streak. My longest is 87, and I am trying to beat it because, fun fact, I only miss one day in between the 79 and the 87 days, and I still feel the pain of it. My moods this year have been adventurous and emotional. 51% have been medium paced, 43% fast, and 5% slow. 73% of them have been under 300 pages, 22% between 300 and 499, and 5% above 500. 89% have been fiction, and 11% have been nonfiction. And my top genres are fantasy, then manga, then middle grade, then LGBTQIA+, and then graphic novel. The month that I read the most pages in, and also maybe books too, but it looks like April's also kind of close for that, is March. And as of right now, this looks like it's going to be June, but we're gonna fix that in the second half of the month. We're gonna say that it's February for both. I've also rated 20 books this year on Storygraph. My average rating is a 4.19, which does feel a little bit low. I don't know if my unrated books factor into that average rating or not, because I do have a ton of like unrated manga volumes and a couple of nonfiction books as well. And I just feel like the year of reading that I've had so far does not accurately reflect that average rating, but it may also be because my 5 stars have been just like so incredible that the year in general just kind of feels like it's like revolving around them. And speaking of my 5 stars, my 5-star reads so far this year have been All My Rage by Sapa Tahir, This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, Life from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki, Top Beifong's Metal Bending Academy, and A Forgery of Fate by Elizabeth Lin. Okay, so that is all that I have for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and answer the question that'll be around here if you want to do that, and hopefully I will see you here next time. Bye!